There is a strange pattern that happens every time supply chains tighten. The items that disappear first are never the ones people panic about. It's rarely rice, rarely pasta, and almost never the foods that news headlines warn you about. Instead, the first things to vanish are the quiet products, the ones sitting on the bottom shelf, the ones most shoppers walk past without thinking. Not because they aren't useful, but because grocery chains quietly decide they aren't profitable enough to keep. Right now, across major U.S. grocery chains, several low-margin pantry staples are being reduced, reformulated, or removed from shelves entirely, not because of shortages, but because something else simply makes the store more money. And by the time most people notice, the shelf space is already filled with something else. Today, we are looking at 15 grocery items that are quietly disappearing from stores in 2026. Some cost less than $1, some have been in American kitchens for generations, and a few of them are far more useful than most people realize. Let's start with number 15. Number 15. Powdered milk. Powdered milk is one of the oldest shelf-stable dairy products still sold in grocery stores today. But many major chains are quietly reducing the shelf space dedicated to it. Why? Because refrigerated dairy alternatives have taken over the category. Oat milk, almond milk, plant-based blends. These products sell faster and generate higher margins for stores. Powdered milk, on the other hand, sits on shelves for months at a time. From a grocery buyer's perspective, slow turnover equals wasted shelf space. But nutritionally and practically, powdered milk solves a problem that refrigerated milk cannot. It lasts for years, not days. During power outages, natural disasters, or long-term storage situations, powdered milk can be turned into usable milk in seconds by simply adding water. And it works for far more than just drinking. You can use it for baking, cooking, coffee sauces, emergency food storage. A single package can produce several gallons of milk, and most store brands still cost under $5 per bag. If stores continue reducing inventory space for powdered milk, the first thing to disappear will be the cheaper store brand versions, leaving only specialty brands at double the price. Number 14. Sardines. Sardines are one of the most nutritionally dense foods in the entire canned seafood aisle, yet many shoppers avoid them completely. That hesitation has caused sardines to become one of the slowest-moving canned fish products in many grocery chains. Tuna sells faster. Salmon sells faster. Even packaged seafood snacks now outsell sardines in some locations. Because of that, several chains are reducing the number of sardine brands they carry. But nutritionally, sardines are incredibly powerful. One small tin provides high-quality protein, omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, vitamin D. And because the bones are soft and edible, sardines deliver more calcium per serving than most dairy products. Even more importantly, sardines are extremely shelf-stable. Many cans last 4 to 5 years or longer when stored properly. They are also one of the most affordable protein sources in the store. Some tins still sell for around $1 to $2. In a world where meat prices continue rising, that price point may not last forever. Number 13. Canned carrots. Carrots themselves are not disappearing, but canned carrots are slowly losing their place in many grocery aisles. Why? Because frozen vegetables have taken over much of that market. Frozen vegetables are seen as fresher and more appealing to modern shoppers. But frozen foods rely entirely on electricity. If the power goes out, every frozen item in your freezer begins deteriorating immediately. Canned vegetables do not have that problem. Canned carrots can last 3 to 5 years or more. And nutritionally, they still contain high levels of beta-carotene, the compound your body converts into vitamin A. That vitamin plays an important role in immune health, vision, skin health. Yet because canned carrots sell slower than other canned vegetables, they are often the first product reduced when grocery stores reorganize shelf space. Number 12. Dry lentils. Lentils are one of the most efficient foods ever produced. They cook quickly, they store for years, and they deliver an impressive amount of nutrition for their price. But they suffer from one problem in the grocery world. Most shoppers don't know how to cook them. Because of that, lentils move slower than products like pasta or rice. That slow movement makes them vulnerable when stores decide which products deserve shelf space. But lentils are extremely powerful nutritionally. They provide plant protein, iron, potassium, fiber. And unlike many beans, lentils do not require soaking before cooking. In many cases, they can be fully cooked in 20 minutes. A 1-pound bag can feed several people and still costs under $2 in many stores. Few foods provide that level of nutrition for that price. Number 11. Shelf-stable tofu. Tofu normally lives in the refrigerated section, but shelf-stable tofu exists as well, and it can last for months without refrigeration. Unfortunately, many grocery chains are reducing the space dedicated to it. Because refrigerated tofu sells faster, from a profit perspective, that makes sense. But from a preparedness perspective, shelf-stable tofu provides a rare advantage. It delivers plant protein that can be stored without refrigeration. Each package typically provides around 15 to 20 grams of protein, and it can be used in stir-fry, soups, rice dishes, noodles. As meat prices continue to fluctuate, alternative proteins like tofu may become more important for many households. Number 10. Tomato powder. Tomato powder is one of the most versatile pantry ingredients most people have never heard of. It's essentially dehydrated tomato concentrate. When mixed with water, it instantly becomes tomato sauce, but it can also be used as seasoning, soup base, pasta sauce, flavor enhancer. Because it's dehydrated, it lasts significantly longer than canned tomato products, but it sells far slower than traditional tomato sauce, which means many stores simply don't carry it anymore. Number 9. Instant mashed potatoes. Instant mashed potatoes are often underestimated, but they are one of the most efficient emergency foods available. Why? Because they require almost no preparation. Just add hot water. Within minutes, you have a calorie-dense side dish. A single box can contain several servings, and when combined with canned meat, canned vegetables, gravy mixes, it can easily become a full meal. Yet instant potato products often move slower than fresh potatoes, which makes them vulnerable during product rotations. Number 8. Canned chicken. Chicken prices have been unstable for years, but canned chicken offers a stable alternative. It has a long shelf life, it requires no cooking, and it provides a strong source of protein. A single can often contains 20+ grams of protein, but canned chicken is also one of the more expensive canned meats. That higher price means it sells slower than tuna, which leads some grocery chains to reduce their inventory of it. Number 7. Oat bran. Oats remain popular, but oat bran specifically has been declining in shelf space because many consumers now choose processed breakfast cereals instead. But nutritionally, oat bran is powerful. It contains high levels of soluble fiber, which can help support heart health and cholesterol management. Yet because demand has decreased, fewer stores continue stocking it regularly. Number 6. Canned potatoes. Fresh potatoes dominate grocery stores, but canned potatoes offer something fresh ones cannot: long-term storage. They can last several years unopened, and they require almost no preparation. Just heat them and add seasoning. But because they compete directly with fresh potatoes, which sell faster, canned potatoes often lose the shelf space battle. Number 5. Canned corned beef. Corned beef in a can has been a pantry staple for decades, but in many grocery stores, it has slowly been pushed further and further toward the bottom shelf. The reason is simple: it doesn't sell quickly enough. Fresh deli meats move faster. Pre-packaged sandwich meats move faster. Even frozen ready meals outsell it. From a grocery chain's perspective, shelf space is extremely valuable, and products that don't move fast are often replaced. But canned corned beef has one advantage many other meats don't. It lasts for years without refrigeration, and it provides a dense source of calories, protein, and fat. In situations where cooking options are limited, it can be eaten straight from the can. It also pairs easily with many simple foods: rice, potatoes, eggs. With a little seasoning, a single can can stretch into several meals. Right now, most store brands cost around $3 to $4 per can, but if lower-cost versions disappear, the remaining imported brands could easily cost twice that. Number 4. Baking yeast. Few people think about yeast until they need it, but yeast has quietly become a problem product for many grocery chains. It sells in unpredictable waves. For months, it sits untouched. Then suddenly, when baking trends surge or supply chains tighten, it disappears overnight. This pattern creates a problem for grocery buyers. Slow turnover most of the year means yeast occupies shelf space that could be used for faster-selling products. Because of that, some stores are reducing the number of yeast brands they carry, which means fewer options for consumers. But yeast is one of the most powerful ingredients in a kitchen. With it, flour and water can become bread. Bread can become toast, sandwiches, pizza dough, flatbread, and countless other foods. A small packet of yeast can transform simple ingredients into meals that feed an entire family. And when stored properly in the freezer, yeast can remain usable for years. Number 3. Powdered eggs. Powdered eggs are one of the least understood items in the grocery store. Most shoppers assume they are only used by the military or emergency food companies. But powdered eggs are simply dehydrated eggs, and once rehydrated with water, they behave almost exactly like fresh eggs in many recipes. You can use them for scrambled eggs, baking, pancakes, omelets, casseroles. Their biggest advantage is shelf life. Fresh eggs last weeks. Powdered eggs can last several years. However, they move slowly in traditional grocery stores. Most customers prefer fresh eggs, so powdered versions are often stocked in very small quantities. When grocery chains reorganize shelf space, slow sellers like powdered eggs are easy targets for removal. Number 2. Canned mackerel. Mackerel has always lived in the shadow of tuna. Most people simply grab tuna without thinking twice, but nutritionally, mackerel may actually be the better choice. It contains higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which support heart and brain health. It also provides strong levels of vitamin B12 and selenium. And like other canned fish, it stores for years. Yet, despite its benefits, mackerel sells far slower than tuna. Because of that, some grocery chains carry only 1 or 2 brands, and when shelf space becomes limited, those options shrink even further. Ironically, the fish many people overlook may be one of the most valuable protein sources on the shelf. Number 1. Canned butter. The final item on this list surprises many people, because most shoppers don't even realize it exists. Canned butter. Butter is normally associated with refrigeration, but shelf-stable canned butter has been produced for decades, and when sealed properly, it can last several years without refrigeration. This makes it extremely valuable in situations where refrigeration is unreliable. Butter provides calories, flavor, and fat, 3 things that become very important when food options are limited. Yet canned butter moves extremely slowly in traditional grocery stores. Most customers never look for it, which means many chains simply choose not to stock it at all. Instead, they prioritize refrigerated dairy products that sell faster. The grocery store may look full every time you walk through it, but the truth is, those shelves are constantly changing. Not because food is disappearing, but because grocery chains are always replacing slow-moving products with items that generate higher profits. And many of the foods that quietly disappear are the ones most people never thought to pay attention to. But sometimes, those overlooked products turn out to be the most useful ones you could keep in your pantry. The next time you walk through a grocery store, look at the bottom shelves. Look for the store brands. Look for the items that are always there, but rarely noticed, because those are usually the products closest to disappearing.